Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, you guys, it's gearing up to be another bright and beautiful sunshiny day today.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous out. We got a little bit of cloud coverage, and it is nice and bright and sunny.
Definitely.
We are going to have a little bit of a storm later on, supposedly in the evening. We'll see.
Yeah, we ended up having one last night. All that cloud coverage that we had yesterday did blow in a storm last night. And it didn't it rained for a nice little good pouring, but it wasn't very long. It was only like maybe 20 minutes or so of actual rain.
Yep.
Other than that, it was like just thunder and lightning and wind and,
The usual summer storm.
Yeah.
Like one that just rolls in out of nowhere, and it just gives you a little drizzle in, and then it's gone. And the humidity comes and says, "Hey, I'm here."
Hey. Yeah. No, it's actually not too bad. Actually, today does feel very humid. But like Gary said, we have quite a bit of cloud coverage today, so I'm very hopeful that it won't be as
too
miserable
crazy
as it could be.
It's been a lot worse, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've had it worse. There's always, look, you got to look on the bright side. There's always something worse. So I'll take my blessings as they come. And today we are blessed with another absolutely beautiful day.
Yep.
The only thing that I will say that is kind of sucky about having the weather be as humid as it's been and like hot, but then also wet, and then going back and forth between that, is all of the freaking bugs hatching, man. I know I've been talking about it like all week. First it was the fleas, right? And we're always griping about the flies this time of year. But yesterday, something happened to me that was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, you want to do some story time? Let's do a little story time.
Let me grab my coffee.
Okay. So, there we were. All right. We were knee deep in doing promos. We had unboxed all of our cool stuff. We already had gone down and done some things. We were working on one of the last ones for the day. And this one was going to take us quite some time. I'll let you guys know what it is, but you guys are going to wait to find out all of the awesome details on it on an upcoming video. But essentially, they are security cameras, surveillance system. It is awesome. 4K. Great cameras. They're solar powered. Really, really like the company. The communication has been phenomenal. The product, we set it up yesterday. Phenomenal. Great sound, clear picture. Great. All good things, right? So we're trying to figure out Gary's so we're trying to figure out like where we're going to put this on the property, because we only have the one door here. So we knew we wanted to have one here to see the coming and going from inside the house. We got the windows, right? So you want to see the windows. We want to see the front door. Cool. Picked a perfect spot for that. All right. Well, now we got two other ones that we want to place around the property. And, the cameras, they work off of the Wi-Fi. So we have to have it close enough to the basement to be able to pick up the signal. But also not too close. So then you can get a really good view, So we're walking around the property with these things hooked up, trying to figure out like the best spot for it. We decided that we wanted to be able to see the road and whatnot coming in here. Now, let me backtrack just a little bit because my squirrel brain. We do already have other surveillance cameras that are kind of watching the road coming up and watching camp life and stuff that we set up a long time ago. And those ones are there. Okay, so this is a totally different set, but that company, we purchased it ourselves. That company, they're not even making them anymore, and those cameras still work, but I digress. So we wanted to see, so we have like camp life and we have that part of the property covered for when you're coming up, but we wanted to make sure that we could see like our property over here, this part, so we have more of an eagle eye view of what's going on. So we're like, okay, well, where else are we going to be putting these cameras? So we're walking around the property trying to figure out like the exact spot that we want to put it. And one of the spots that I really wanted wouldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. Bump, bump, ba-dum, wow. And I'm not sure if it's because of the block basement and how much concrete that there is, if it's because of the metal roof or...
Well, I have a feeling it's a mix of everything. From what I understand, all right, I'm not anywhere close to an internet professional or anything like that, but I do.
You don't say.
I do talk to some people that are, like especially like your brother.
Mm-hmm.
He knows all the ins and outs and everything, and he already is. We've already had this conversation a couple of times back and forth, like way back in the day and all that stuff. But anywho, what he was telling me was, with your router or with anything like at all, you would think that it would be like a outward cast like this, and it would just go up and out. It doesn't. It goes down and out.
Mm-hmm.
So the router needs to get up higher.
Yeah, we need to
where
put
we
our
can
router
have
in.
a bigger umbrella of sorts to be able to connect.
Yeah.
With where it is right now, we have a good umbrella, but it's not what it could be.
Yeah, and then I think
I
think in the future too, we're gonna want to get one of those range extenders as well, because we do have the roof, and that could stop like the cell signal. I noticed that sometimes, like if I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, I don't really have a good cell signal out here, but because I connect to the Wi-Fi, I get the Wi-Fi calling thing set up. Anyway, that's a squirrel. That's a squirrel right there. Yeah. We just went squirrel on that, but it's okay. It's all right. Back to story time. So we find a spot that we want to put it, right? We end up walking around and we go upstairs inside the cabin, and we're thinking, okay, well, how about we direct it to where we could see the road coming in from camp over here towards our house to where Tiny parks, and maybe even point it over towards Anthony and Roxanne's house just a little bit, because that driveway does loop around and then like split off.
Yeah.
And it would help to protect their area a little bit more as well. Now, again, we'd be able to see cars coming up the road from camp.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just extra double layer of protection. So we decided to put it right there. Now, these cameras are super awesome because they do the pan and tilt. You get literally like a 360 view with it, with the setup that it is. So it's pretty awesome. And you can rotate that thing and see everything. So we're like, okay, if we set it right here, then when I use the pan mode, I can pan it over and then I can see the backyard. I can see this whole fenced in area. I could see the garden. I can see a little bit of the goat pen, a little bit of the chicken coop area, but I can see the first top tiers pretty well, like really, really well.
Yeah.
So we decided that's going to be a great spot. Well, Gary brings all the tools up there, which isn't much needed, just a drill and stuff and some screws and things. And we figure out exactly where we want it. And Gary's hanging off the damn ledge, holding on for dear life, and I'm filming, and I'm scared because he's.
I get going, and I zap these things in, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm getting dive bombed, and like in my mind, I'm just like, whatever, I'm like, let me get off this ledge because I'm not in really a good spot to get dive bombed, so. And
I'm watching him on this ledge, kind of swatting things away, and I'm looking, and what were they, baby? Wasps.
Wasps.
They're wasps. So. You remember how that one time Gary was outside out here and he was like sword fighting with the wasps that were dive bombing? Yeah, there was like a whole horde of them. They started dive bombing and going after Gary. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's on this ledge. I'm trying to like film, but at the same time, I'm also like, Gary, be careful. So he swats them away, and then they come directly and attack me. And I'm over here like on away, like far enough away so I could be filming. Man, I got attacked. I got stung and I got bit pretty damn hard. Like it hurt and for the whole rest of the day. So it got me right here on my temple. I was wearing my sunglasses. I was wearing my hat, and it was like trying to go. I'm lucky it didn't get my eyeball because he was trying to go underneath my glasses and stuff. And so I'm holding the camera with one hand. I'm swatting the stinking wasps away with the other. And another one came and like went straight for me, like went underneath my glasses and like underneath my hat area, and it got me literally right here on my temple. Like, turn your head, baby. Yep. You see this little tiny little triangular piece of skin that shows? That's what was showing on me. Oh gosh, and it hurt so bad. It swelled up the size of an egg. It was pretty big. It got a big swell. I had a nasty reaction. I'd never been stung by a wasp before. I mean, I've been attacked by plenty of bugs, the no-see-ums. I've been bitten by spiders. I've gotten bitten by horseflies, the chiggers, the ants, right? Nope. I've gotten the ants. I'm trying to think of all the other things that have gotten me over the years. I've been attacked by regular bees. I've been stung by like a regular bee when I was younger, but never a wasp. This was the first time I ever got stung by a wasp, and it swelled up so good, and it was right on my temple.
It's not a hornet.
No.
Some people get the them confused. Some people call wasp hornets when in reality a wasp is a wasp, a hornet is a hornet, and a bee is a bee.
Yeah.
So, and they all pack different varieties of stings
and venom or whatever it is. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. And the bad part is with hornets and with like wasps, they don't lose their stinger.
Yeah, so they can just keep going.
So like they can sit there and get
times.
you multiple times over and over and over again.
It made me bleed.
Yeah.
It made me bleed. I was bleeding from my head from this stupid thing.
I wasn't sure. I was like, man, I don't know if you got stung or if you got bit. Like because it was like, it was probably like, a quarter of an inch, maybe 3/8, something like that, right? Wide, and it was a straight line. It wasn't even like, it wasn't multiple. It wasn't like, it was a straight line cut type bleed.
It got me good. I felt it like latch on or sting me. I felt it connect, right?
No.
And the line part was when I was like swatting it and scratching it away. I was like, because so we're up. So let me go back to the story. All right. So Gary is up there trying to attach the security camera so we can get the good bird's eye view, right? I'm filming. Gary starts having maybe 2 or 3 of them come after him, and they're like they're just buzzing by him. They haven't landed on him yet, but they're coming.
One hit my head right here.
They're coming in.
But thankfully I had my hat on.
Yeah.
So
I was wearing a hat too.
I was like,
it just got me.
What the heck? Get away from me. And I was like, all right, let me get off of this thing right here.
Gary starts flipping out, and I'm like, oh no, babe, be careful, babe,
And then I hear her screaming.
And then they come after me, and they come attacking me, and then so I throw the camera, I throw my hat off, I throw my glasses off, and I go, yee! And I'm running, but I can't really see, but I'm terrified, because I'm like, I don't want to run off the patio, because that would be bad.
That would have been bad.
That would have been really bad, but I can't really see because they're like attacking my face, man. They were going after my face.
Yep.
And so I end up getting it, and then Gary like gets off of the ledge and comes in, and he's like, oh no, babe. And he's coming over to try to like take care of me and console me and stuff. And then he's like, oh, we figure out what happened. And then Gary like looks, he's like, that's it. They're not going to get away with it, babe. Don't you worry. They're not going to get away with it. He's all, this means war. I'm going to get them. They're not going to treat you like that. So then he goes and he's like, I got something up my sleeve for him. I go inside the cabin. I'm like, I'm in so much pain, guys. Like it swelled up instantly, like a goose egg. It swelled up real big right here on my temple. And I can feel my heartbeat like beating in my head. And this part of your skin is so sensitive. Like it still hurts today. It's still very, very sensitive to touch today. It hurts. It's not fun. And it felt like it was on fire, bro. Like it felt like my head was on fire, like, and throbbing and just awful. So Gary gets down. He goes down to the shed to go and get some of this wasp, hornet foam stuff that we have, this bug killer spray. And I'm surprised that the Oregon people didn't get them. I guess they just didn't see it or something. They didn't inspect well enough. I don't know. I'm going to call them and be like, hey, guys. But they were here for other things.
They were here for other things.
Yeah.
And we tend to...
It's fine.
We tend to know what's going on with our own place and whatnot. So they ask us and we're like, do this, treat for this, treat for that.
And I was more concerned
we didn't see them before.
The fleas.
Or else we would have been like, all right.
I was concerned with the fleas earlier on in the week, which I'm still concerned about, but not as much as I was earlier. But anyhow, Gary goes down, goes to the shed, gets the spray, comes back up, man on a mission. Man was on a mission to be my knight in shining armor. And I haven't dropped so many F-bombs, and friends that know me know that sometimes I have loose language, all right?
She's a pirate.
I'm a little bit of a pirate, part pirate, okay? Not online, because for respect of you guys, I know you guys aren't, but in a very relaxed, casual setting, I tend to kind of be a pirate a little bit, okay? I haven't dropped so many F-bombs, I think, all month as I did in that hour. Every other word was just rassum, frassum, grr,
It happens, man.
You know?
When you get hurt or when something comes out of surprise, sometimes it happens. You can't.
Gary comes up, knight in shining armor, and his Excalibur was a spray can. And he was on a mission, man. He was like, you're not going to get away with hurting my wife. And so he goes over there, and at first he just goes after the ones that are flying because we didn't see the nest yet. Yes, the nest. One of many.
The nests.
The nests. He didn't see the nests.
Plural.
So he's spraying the ones that are flying around in the air, and he's, cussing them out too. Take that, you SOB, blah, blah, blah. Swatting his hat at him, going nuts. And I did not get any of this on film because I was just attacked, and we were in the middle of filming something for our sponsor. That's not exactly something we're going to be putting in that video for the sponsorship.
It was pretty funny.
But now you guys know a little bit of something behind the scenes. So when you guys do see our promotion, just remember this story. Remember the struggle, the struggle life reclaimed. Very loving their products. But anyway, so Gary's up there. He's swatting everything. He's spraying everything. And then he sees it. The nest. One of many nests.
That thing was like that big.
Literally.
And had like
a giant honeycomb.
Probably a good 40 wasps chilling on it and whatnot. I was all, holy, okay.
Plus all of their babies, all their larvae.
That's where they came from. That's why they were upset, because here I am drilling something into the wood over here, and I'm vibrating the whole everything, and that's why they were pissed.
And you were only like 5 feet away from the nest.
Yep.
Like when he was drilling it. And when I was recording, I was like 2 or 3 feet. I was closer to the nest than Gary was. So like imagine like a triangle, like here's the nest, here's Gary, here's me. Yeah. And that's, so anyway, so Gary discovers the nest, and man, he's like, oh, I see you. I got you now, fool. So I'm like, Gary, get ready to run. I close all the doors and I close all the windows for the cabin. Except for the one door. I left the kitchen door going out to the back patio open, and I was ready to slam it just as soon as he ran through it, to slam it, right? So Gary sprays and sprays and sprays, and they all start, they got pissed, man. They were so mad. They started
not happy with me.
And Gary runs in, we slam the door. They're like smacking the glass, trying to come after us. And I'm looking at the top because there's part of the cabin that still needs to be closed in for the green zip board and just the finishing off, right? We have it open for airflow right now. Anyway, so I'm like looking up there. I'm like, please don't come in there. Don't come in there. Don't come in there. Because I'm thinking they're smart and they're going to come and invade us and everything. So then they all start. So they didn't. But it was kind of funny having Gary run into the door, and I slammed the door, and then they're all smacking the glass trying to come after us. And I'm all, yeah, that's right. You die. You take that and you die. Like, and so.
Definitely after it was all said and done, we went out there and we seen them all on the ground and everything else. Have you guys ever seen the Lorax?
Yes, the Lorax. I was literally just thinking of the Lorax. So there's like the evil guy, like the bad guy in the Lorax. He sings this song at the end of the movie. And I promise you, me and Gary, we were singing it. We were, let it die, let it shrivel up and die. We were singing the Lorax song. It was terrible. We felt like the evil geniuses at the end of Lorax. But honestly, though, like, that's what you get. You gave me a goose egg, made me bleed. Like, that sucked. And I mean, I don't want wasps in my house, so go away.
All right, look, I don't like wasps.
Then go away.
Hornets have some sort of a place. The hornets actually eat flies and like horse flies and dragonflies and all that. Wasps, they're just a pain in the butt.
I still don't want them on my house that we're building.
No, not at all. So I mean,
they can go make their nest somewhere else.
Bees are great, there's a whole forest out here of everything else, but yeah, no, wasps. I'm sorry.
Listen, there's a whole forest out here.
No.
They can go find their own place to be. They don't need to be on my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we took care of the first nest. Okay, took care of nest number uno, and they're all dropping. They all, like, Gary sprayed the crap out of that nest, man. He put like such a huge foam ball around it, and like I said, all of them, they were pissed. They were chasing after us, smacking against the glass. They're going back to their nest, like trying to, it's Armageddon for them. So, I mean, like, I'm a little sad because, we created Armageddon, but at the same time, I don't know what to tell you. And,
not in my house!
Yeah, not in my house. You see that line? You see that line? You crossed the line.
You crossed that line.
You crossed that line.
It ain't gonna be okay.
Yeah, you don't go attacking the wife, all right? It's not gonna be a good time. Honey's gonna, he'll make sure that you get yours. So... we go back outside. We see like this whole pile, like on the bottom of all of these wasps that are like dying and dead now, right? And then like all of a sudden, drop, drop, drop. It's like all the larvae that's inside the honeycomb thing. They're all dropping and dying too. We should actually go up there and knock that thing off today.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to touch it.
No,
Yes,
we didn't want, no. We were brave with this.
Let me spray this thing and run.
We were brave with the spray can, but as soon as, so they all drop. And then we're like, all right, well, let's inspect now, because there was a big old nest and there was still some more. Like there was still some flying around out there, and we were kind of scared, like having the hat in the hand,
like,
swatting them
right.
around.
So there's got to be some more somewhere around here, like there was a lot on top of that nest to where I was like, that's a good portion of them. Like I would say 90% of them, I got that nest wiped completely, like the other 10% is probably flying around, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
See, it didn't seem like 10% was still flying around. It seemed a lot more.
Yes.
And then I found other nests.
Nests.
On top of it. And I was all, So I'm gonna get some more spray the next time I go to town.
Yeah.
And I get
So basically we repeated the cycle. We repeated the same thing that we just did
over
before.
and over again because
How many nests were there? 4?
I think there was like 4.
Maybe 5. That you can say 5 if you count that little one.
Yeah.
But that little one didn't have anybody in it.
There was a few little ones, but
it was almost like they were nests that they started to build and then they like abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Or they started to build it.
Yeah.
Because the other ones were starting to get filled.
And the other ones were bigger, so they were like, "Oh, my home sucks. I'm gonna go over to this home." Because there were a couple of them that were pretty small, right? Just like maybe a dozen or so little honeycomb spots. But yeah, no, there was like 5 nests, bro. And like the one really big one that Gary got, it was big, bro. And then there was another one that was almost as big, a little bit smaller. Like if that one was this big, then the other one was like that big.
Yeah.
A little bit smaller, but still there. And it was on the opposite side of the cabin. So like our whole patio area, like every kind of little bits that you could go on those roof joist things, there was a big nest.
It was nuts.
It's make for a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that happened yesterday. So there's our story time. I hope that you enjoyed it. That happened. It hurts. Nuts. It still hurts. And 'tis the season for the bugs. I will say I really hate that about summer out here. I love living out here. I will not complain too much because I am so blessed beyond measure in my life. So I'm not trying to nitpick and complain, right? Because I have so many more blessings than there are burdens or things to snivel about. However, the bugs out here in the South in the summertime is like the bane to my existence because I always get eaten up. Every single year, I end up with like 100 marks, whether it's the no-see-ums, the stupid chiggers, horse flies, the ants, right? And now, wasp.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. I really want to get the a big old electric
bug zapper
thing.
I do too.
A big old one.
How do those work though? Does anybody have any suggestions for one that will work? Like I'm down, like for real. I hate the bugs so bad.
Ideally, we need to get a solar one.
Yeah, because of the power.
Set it out
in the yard,
in the middle of the yard somewhere, so that way it's away from the living quarters a little bit, but it still has the power and it will bring all the bugs over there. And,
Does anyone have any
in a sense of
experience?
All gnats and bugs and flies and all things that fly.
Does anyone have any experience with bug zappers? Do they work really well? We're still sort of new to this area. I mean, we've been out here now. This is our 4th summer. Okay, so we've been here for a while. We're getting more used to it. And like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, does anyone have any suggestion? Maybe you guys can send me an email with a link or just drop the name and I'll Google it myself. We need to get some more
citronella.
Yeah, I know that.
Those plants really do help, surprisingly.
They do, but the problem is that they die.
They do.
They die. Like, I can't keep them alive. I kill the citronella. I'm terrible about keeping them alive, I will admit. Every citronella plant that we've had, it lives for like maybe a month and then it's dead. And I water it, and I try. They just...
We should plant it.
We should. They're in a pot.
Plant it. So, but there's you know, there's a lot of other things like that.
But I want to know about a bug zapper, though. That's great.
The bug zapper.
I want to see them fly over to it and then die.
Well, I mean, like we had those.
I'm so morbid. I'm sorry.
We had those camping ones, right? And but they were so small.
Yeah.
Like they worked great until they got clogged up, and then they gave you a little brush to brush out all the stuff, right? But it's like, really, I have to bring this brush and try to put it past the plastic cage to get to the wire cage that all the bugs are stuck to, you know, and you can't really get in there or like take it off to actually brush it. And so you're trying to like brush it with it. And it's
are
like,
out here, you're doing it like every hour.
Pretty much. And that's where I was like, if we got a big old one, then, you know, that's just more surface area and it will work, you know, and hopefully it will over time just clean itself.
Clean itself. That'd be great. Does anybody have anything like that makes anything? Let me know. Drop it down in the comments. I want to know. Right. Because I want one badly. Because, yeah.
These bugs are unreal. That's the only thing now. The humidity I'm getting used to.
I am getting used to it too.
I can't get used to these bugs, man. I can't get used to having sugar bites all over me and flea bites all over me and just like eating up every time and anytime we go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, they live in the grass. They live in the weeds. They live in the forest. They live
out of town. It's
anywhere you go. It's like, man, what in the world, dude? Like, I don't even want to step on the grass. Let me have rock everywhere. Let me make sure that there ain't no way. Like, that's...
But I don't want rock.
I don't want to do that either, but like, no, I know. But I'm at that point where I'm like, dude, this is driving me nuts, dude. Like, I am, my legs.
Yeah. And you know what's really nice is they make like the sunscreen clothing. I wish that they made like get out of here bug clothing. But you can't. You just gotta like spray the bug spray on you, like, and the permethrin and the DEET stuff and everything. And I don't like that because I know it's chemicals and it's not good for you. That's another reason. Like, I use sunscreen. I do, like on my face and stuff, but I prefer not to use sunscreen even because you're rubbing chemicals on you.
If they have like
more of one of those natural. I'm a little crunchy in some areas, okay? Not all areas, but in certain things.
I wonder if they have like a citronella soap.
A soap?
Or laundry soap, you know?
I'm sure they have essential oils. I could add essential oils. And I could make, you know, those little circle balls that they sell for, instead of dryer sheets, they sell those circle balls. And I know I can take one of those circle ball things and like soak it in essential oils and let it soak really good and then let that dry and then use that as a dryer sheet and then it would get the
mints, citronella oil or whatever, like something like that, like
tea tree oil.
Tea tree. Which I still feel like citronella would be the best out of all of it. Yeah. For the bugs.
I want to know your guys' expert opinions because I value your guys' opinions. A lot of you guys have a lot more experience in this area than we do. Please drop down in the comment section your guys' best suggestions for the clothing, for the bug zappers, for all the things that you think might help us in this situation. It's very, very much appreciated. We truly love and appreciate you guys. But that's what happened then, and we're just gonna keep pushing forward, guys. That's it. But I would really love to hear from you guys if you guys have any suggestions. And you know, we're still getting used to all this stuff out here.
Yep. So it's been a wonderful time.
Yeah. But it's been a wonderful time. Mel got a goose egg on her head. I had to go to war.
Hey, I'm just trying to, you know, be positive.
It's a gift. Here. It's a gift, babe. It's a gift.
On that note,
we are going to run. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, listening to our little story time. And I want to thank you in advance for all of your guys' suggestions, tips, tricks, links, etc. We truly love and appreciate you guys. We will try to be back with another episode tomorrow here on Real Talk. So we hope to see you guys then. So friends, keep your notifications turned on both channels. We got some more videos coming down the pipe for y'all. I hope that you guys truly enjoy it. But with all that said, until the next one, friends, you know we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.
It's a gift.